It's this beautiful madness.
Oh, damn, that's fat. That looks dangerous. Shouldn't he be wearing a helmet? Shut up. It's my midlife crisis, Karen. Nobody likes you.
What's up, people? I am back to continue my midlife crisis. I don't actually know if I'm having one. I think I'm just too busy, maybe a little stressed. Either way, the best relief for all of that, for any red-blooded American man, or for that matter, anybody on the planet, is a dune buggy! Yes! This particular dune buggy weighs 800 pounds with nobody in it and makes 200 horsepower. That is insane. You do the math and compare that to a Veyron or something. It's pretty good, except it's made to do it off-road. It's two-wheel drive with these big honkers, and it's got brakes on the rear. No brakes on the front. You don't need them. It's kind of pointless. You're going to be sideways the entire time anyway and sliding. It's this beautiful madness of out of control at all times. It's like in control of out of control. It's just embrace the chaos. Yes! And what I love so much about this is, frankly, it reminds me exactly of the go-kart when I was a kid. Even if I found a go-kart just like that and restored it, it wouldn't be the same. It's not the same memory. It was a different time. But this sandrail has brought all the joy to me as an adult that go-kart did for me as a kid. And for you guys that remember the Vin Wiki story, being a kid on a go-kart, it was that one. So it just meant a lot, and this is so awesome. Now, when I first got it, you guys saw it, really excited about it, bought it from a cool owner. He had it for like 15 to 17 years, popping wheelies on sand dunes and all, putting paddle tires on it. Maybe someday I'll get some of those if I get any money and go to the sand dunes. But that doesn't mean there's things that couldn't be improved. Now, already it's awesome. It's got a chromoly thin steel tubing. It's got an awesome Jeff Hart built 2332cc, Volkswagen base engine, making the better part of 200 horsepower with 2 Weber downdraft carburetors, which are actually pretty well balanced. And a pretty hefty, if you want to come back here and look, a pretty hefty bus-based transaxle in the rear. However, there were a few things about it that he mentioned that he'd love to see change and didn't like, and a few things that I didn't like either. Now, the first one being is the brake lines are kind of sketch. They're just these plastic compression lines, which frankly work just fine, but it would be so easy to wreck these and then have one brake, and then that's a little much. The car doesn't have much in the way of safety considerations already, so your best safety considerations is to not crash, and the best way to not crash is to have the car control the way you want it to. So if it's anybody's mistake, it's yours as the driver. That's the way you want to do it. Not if something breaks and everything goes to pot. So I'm going to change those in the future. But before I even got to that, just bombing around here, which we're going to do in a minute. We're going to drive this thing today. So just bombing around, I transitioned from grass and then came up on concrete. And if you look right over here, the front mount to the trailing arm in the rear broke clean off. It had this single tab here, this triangular tab, okay, and it was welded directly to the thin wall chromoly tubing. And after 15 years of impact and vibration and flex, right at the edge of the weld. See, when you put a lot of temperature into metal, you change its metallurgy, its crystalline structure, etc. So long story short, it always cracks right next to a weld. And that's what happened. Eventually cracked enough that it just busted loose. Now the wheel stayed on because this is a swing arm transaxle. And if you look in the back here again, sorry to make you all run around, but if you look here in the back, this tube is not the axle. This doesn't spin. It pivots here at the transaxle and just goes straight out, and there's an axle inside of it. Now the rear tires, you have full camber gain during the sweep like this, but it doesn't matter because it's off-road. And right now it's adjusted for harder pavement and stuff, so you get pretty much everything contacting. But when this broke loose, the wheel could go left or right, so it goes way to the rear, and then like driving sideways like this. Fortunately, it didn't hurt anything else. And then what we did to fix it, if you want to come back and look, I had a piece of tubing, DOM tubing, that was an 1/8 inch thick wall. And the idea, the tubing I had was the OD, the outer diameter of this. So I cut it down the middle, and then I took the triangular bracket, and off of the buggy, I welded very strongly to this piece of 1/8 inch thick steel. And then we prepared the surface and welded on here. And then lastly, I put this little tab here to help kind of triangulate and support the boss where the bolt goes through. So it's really rigid, and now you have welds going the whole way around. I realized that the same problem can occur of putting the heat into the chromoly and changing crystalline structure, blah, 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 cracking. But if it lasted 15 years with the guy hammering on it, and I did a better job, I figured it should last 25 or 30. So, Anyway, so that's what we did. I'm really happy with this so far, so that's good. That's really strong. Now, the other thing that changed that was just As much as the guy did a great job building it, it was just not a great design. It was the shifter. Now, because this engine is a mid-engine configuration with the engine in front of the transaxle and axle line, the transmission's in the back. But in the Volkswagen production vehicles, everything would be the other way around. It'd be rear-engined. So if it was in a production car, this shifter shaft would be pointing straight up to your shifter, and it would be much easier to have a mechanical linkage directly to it. But in this circumstance, you can't do that. So you have two basic options. One, like the guy had it before, and let me see if I can find some of those parts laying around. He had this series of tubes with, where the heck are those, Tyler?
There's one over by the vise there.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we had these series of tubes, you guys, that went all the way back there, and if you want to run over here and take a vape, these are all connected together, and they've got these CV joints on it where they can turn. And this was attached to the shifter, so that when you would roll the shifter left or right, it would turn, and it could go around the engine, and it would turn and do this. And it came all the way back to the shaft and attached, so when you twisted it, the shaft, it would go up and down, and then when you push it forwards and back, it would go like this to select gears. The problem is, you get play in these shafts, you get play in the bearings, you get play in the transmission, and by the time you try to put your input way to the back, you like can't find gears. The other issue with the way it was before was the ratios, shall we say, the lever ratio. So the forwards and back was very stiff, like it's very much a short shift kit going left to right. But it was also forwards and back, but it was also too short of a shift going to the left and right. So I went to a cable shifter setup, and what I was able to do was use the same billet shifter he made. It's got a tie rod down here, which actually that could be tightened up a little bit. Uses a tie rod down here like on a normal car, and this is the piece he had, except now it goes to a cable forwards and reverse like that. And then I have this secondary cable for my other axes right here, and I have a lot less play, so it's a lot more precise. And if we come back here to the back, what I simply did was, this black piece that goes onto the tail shaft is the original piece. And if you come on right over here and take a peek, this kind of round part here where it goes forward, that's where it used to have a CV joint and go all the way forward to do that. So this cable here controls the forwards and the back, which I'm just going to go show you. And what I did is I tapped this out and put in the little ball to hold that. So let me show you the example of it going forwards and backwards. Okay, so there's forwards, there's backwards. So first gear, neutral, second gear, okay? And then this is my left to right sweep right here. And you can obviously see that the other cable comes in at this angle. Now, a lot of you are going to notice that these cables are not perfectly on a perpendicular axis. They're a little bit more like this. That's just one of the compromises you have to make. You can't have this cable going dead straight forward because there's a transmission there. And this one would be too hard to have going this way because it'd be going way out. But you're still able to have a really good sweep. Don't over-engineer this. This works perfectly fine. It's one of those considerations, and we're not going to discuss it right now. But anyway, something very important, I wanted to have a reverse lockout, because before there wasn't enough resolution to the left and right, and there was so much slop, I could almost never get it in a second gear. Like, there's nothing wrong with the gearbox. I couldn't find it. So if I was in first gear, if I figured it out, I'd like 8 to 9 out of 10 times I could make it to second gear without either buzzing reverse or going into fourth. They were all just too close together, right? And if I was in third gear or fourth gear and I wanted to downshift to second, I was never, not once, able to get it in second gear. It would either go back into fourth or go into reverse. Just, there's too much slop. So what I wanted is a bit of a reverse lockout. Now, I just finished this today, and I'm going to show you what I did. Come here. So this is the left to right sweep, if you guys see this, right? Over here is, this goes to third gear and this goes to fourth gear, okay? And then right here is first gear, and then that's second gear. Now what you'll notice is, so third and fourth gear, first and second. If I want to shove this over to reverse, see how there's that squishy tube right there? That squishy tube acts as my reverse detent. That's so I have a little bit of extra feeling to know that I'm about to hit reverse. Now I put the squishy tube on it because that's what I had in the shop. I'm actually going to put a metal spring on it that gives me a little harsher hit when I find reverse, and it's more like that. This is a little mushy, but I think it's going to work real fine. So this is what I created, pretty happy with it. And this just goes to show, being able to create this, why it's so important for young guys out there building your own cars to invest in your own tools. So I had a basic MIG welder. You can do it with a Sawzall or hacksaw, but this was basic metal fabrication, okay? This L-bend piece of angle iron, you can buy at any hardware store or TSC. I welded on this tab right here, And it did the same kind of thing up there, had a, you know, a drill, just basic stuff. And then in regard to this piece, just designed it in my head and used basic steel to put it together. And this is just the old piece. There's a little spacer here, and then just a piece of square tubing here, and then this so I can change the ratio if I want. So it works out really well. And in terms of cost, other than just electricity and time, oh, I think I had about $150 in the 2 shifter cables. They were universal. I just looked them up online from a, you know, off-road type place, and that was it. That's all I had. But before that, I was trying to find a whole shift assembly you could buy, like cable shifters for a dune buggy. The best thing I could find, the cheapest thing I could find was like $500 or $600. And I'm like, that's kind of a lot of money. I mean, I realized that time is money, but it was kind of a lot. And then the one I was actually gonna spend like $400 and buy one I thought was really nice. It had all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And turns out that company went out of business. And so the only thing available was a knockoff of that, which was like $1,200. And I'm like, forget that. So let's go drive this thing. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and the brakes should be okay. And I'm gonna show you guys that, but I just hope that it inspires you guys to get your own tools and start learning fabrication and just take it up. There's lots of videos you can learn, you can find mentors, and it's really great, but let's get out of here, yes! Oh, I'm gonna be a bad role model right now. All right, you guys, quick tip. Avalon King Ceramic Coating is having a Labor's Day sale this Friday through Monday the 7th only. It's the time to get it. The stuff was designed specifically for DIY, and honestly, it's the simplest, best to use. I use it on all my nice stuff, i.e. the 928, the 944, the Viper, and soon to be the Aston Martin. Makes your car a million times easier to clean, and yes, it beats wax. And if I were smart, I would have used it on this dune buggy before I got it really dirty. Anyway, the sale, Labor Day, buy some, yes! All right, you guys, I'm actually gonna push this out because I put a GoPro in this, and I don't know if the GoPro is gonna adjust to the sunlight properly, so I wanna check that.
I didn't want to screw up the continuity or you guys would be like, oh, Casey's dumb.
Wait, I need sunglasses.
I need eye protection. Be gone, dude, buggy.
I don't know if the GoPro is working. Let me fix it. Oh yeah, that's totally working. Oh, this is gonna be sweet.
Yes, let's go.
Yes, why are we talking?
How many people are gonna be full, can you imagine Karen's watching it? That looks dangerous. Shouldn't he be wearing a helmet? Shouldn't he stay in a darkened basement alone with padding and things to keep him safe? I'm being safe by not sucking. Shut up, it's my midlife crisis, Karen. Nobody likes you. Okay.
Oh, yes.
How many people are going to be full? Can you imagine Karen's watching it? That looks dangerous. Shouldn't he be wearing a helmet? Shouldn't he stay in a darkened basement alone with padding and things to keep him safe? I'm being safe by not sucking. Shut up. It's my midlife crisis, Karen. Nobody likes you. Oh, yes. 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 Wait. Yes. Oh, hooray! Yes! I freaking love this thing! Yes! Oh, Casey, you don't have your hands on the wheels. Your seatbelt keeps popping off. This is dangerous. Shut up, man! Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, that's beautiful. It's ready. Oh, damn, that's fat. Ooh, that's not exactly what I had in mind. Yes. Yeah! This thing's f***ing fast! Yeah! Oh, lost the seatbelt. Gonna need to put that back on. Ah, I won't wreck twice. Yes, much better. Genius. Ah, I'll go this way. And, oh, come on, you're supposed to rotate, baby, rotate. Full. Woo! Yeah, baby! Woo! Yeah, keep it going, keep it going. Woo, 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 woo. That's too much. Yes, yes. Yes. And hoo-yah, hoo-yah. Yes, 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 yes. Ah, don't hit that tree. Woo! This thing's fast. Ah! I'm gonna hit the sand. Oh, that didn't go well. That's ridiculous. Yes, let's go this way. Yes, yes. Spinny spin. Yes. Ah, seatbelt, seatbelt. Yes. Yes! Okay. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! La 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 la! Yes! Look at this action here. That was almost beautiful. Hello! Yes! Let's put it on the engine. That's not a bad idea. Will it work there? Will it work there? I am a friggin' lunatic. All right, here we go. Yes, Dune buggy. Ah, here we go. Yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, lost my seatbelt again. Come on, bullshit. Yeah! I gotta do my seatbelt, dang it. Ah, my seatbelt came undone. Tyler, ramming speed. Stay on. Okay, here I go again. Yes. Damn it, I did it again. Stay on. Okay, here we go. Yes. Ah, yeah, mule. Here we go. Yes, yes. Woo. Yes. Ah. Ah, yeah, mule. Yeah. Oh yes, Scandinavian flick. I call this the hillbilly flick. Ha ha ha. Yes, yes. I'll go this way now. Oh, not too much that way. Here we go. Woo, doggy. Yeah. Hey, hey, ho. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Dune buggy. Jumping off the ramp. Maybe not this time. Oh, my seatbelt, damn it. Yeah, yeah. I have not tested reverse. I will do that now. Yes, it works. Reverse, please, reverse. Huh, that's not, I mean first, that's what I want, yes. Ah. Woo, okay. That's enough reasonable fun for now. I gotta get back to work. No! Anyway, see you guys next time.
All right, you guys, quick tip. Avalon King Ceramic Coating is having a Labor's Day sale this Friday through Monday the 7th only. It's the time to get it. The stuff was designed specifically for DIY and honestly is the simplest, best to use. I use it on all my nice stuff. I use the 928, the 944, the Viper, and soon to be the Aston Martin. Makes your car a million times easier to clean, and yes, it beats wax. And if I were smart, I would have used it on this Dune buggy before I got it really dirty. Anyway, the sale, Labor Day, buy some, yeah!